Hello, everyone. Are you listening?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Uh, would you please switch your video for the start? Yes. There are more students to come. So, shall we start in a few minutes? Yes, if it's possible, kindly switch on your video. Ouais, yes. Mhm. So we won't waste time because it's already 10:30. Let's introduce. Let us introduce ourselves. Well, I'm Mrs. Meenakshi Tanu, and those who are present here, I can't see you. So I'm your tutor for the social project development and the management. Okay, I think we start the class because I can see many who are not present yet. The 11. Hi. Uh, Let me tell you, I shall cover 2 chapters today from the manual. Okay. So I'm going to cover 2 chapters. I'll start with introduction. Okay. Let's start. Let's not waste time. It's already 10:30. We have limited time. So are you all following? Hello? Hello,
Yes.
everyone. Are you all here?
Hello,
Yes.
ma'am. We are here.
Ali, okay. So I hope you all have gone through the manual. Okay, so let's see the first slide. Yes, the introduction. So I'm going to talk a little about the project. Okay, then the nature and definition of project management, the importance of project management. Okay, you can see all on the screen. The importance of a project manager and his responsibilities. Let me tell you before what is the plan for today. I'm going to cover, we'll have 4 classes, 1 for revision. So in the 4 classes we shall have, I'll cover out of 8 chapters, 2 chapters per class. It's okay?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we'll have 2 chapters for today. I will cover chapter 1 and chapter 2, and I'll give you your assignment. Okay, so you'll have to work on your assignment. I'll give you for around 2 weeks. For until next class, you have to cover your assignment. You don't have to worry. I'll also give you guidelines about the way to proceed with the assignment. Okay. So what is a project, everyone? You have an idea what is a project? Anybody? I hope you're all here. I can't listen. I can't hear anyone.
Ma'am, it's a work that has to be done in a lapse of time.
Yes, good. Yes. So as we can see, projects have several, I have put it here. Okay. Project is a set of, somebody read it for me. If you can see the slide, the work. Can you see on the PowerPoint? Somebody read it for me. Yeah. Yes. Yes. You see, as the lady, the girl just give us an idea what is a project. This is a definition by Kraft. So this is his idea about what is a project: a set of related activities having a definite starting point and end state. So when we start a project, we have to start somewhere. We have a plan, we have a budget. You know, what do we need when we start a project? Firstly, what do we need? We need budget. Okay? Can you
We need
listen
to
to me?
plan
Yes.
and we need finance.
Of course. So here are some several characteristics about a project. Let me tell you, then we'll proceed about more in depth about the project. So projects are unique. As you could see in your manual, projects are temporary in nature and have a definite beginning and ending date. Okay. Projects are completed when the project goals are achieved and it has been determined that the project is no longer viable. Okay. So I have mentioned some of the elements of a project. As you can see, all projects have some elements in common. Okay. And this is not from your manual. Okay. You have an objective, a definite end result, output of project, which is defined in terms of cost, quality, and timing. You have the complexity. I won't go too much on detail. Important for me is you get the technical words and it is well understood by each and everyone. Okay, as you can see here, the several tasks are required to be undertaken to achieve the objective. The main aim is to achieve the objectives, and for that you have a time limit. You have a time, and what is also important is the cost. Here we can see the uniqueness. A project is usually a one-off undertaking. Okay, the project in itself is unique because this is a plan for now. Okay, uncertainty. As all projects are planned before they are executed, they carry a certain amount of risk. Uncertainty it exists in any project because it is a plan. Until we reach the completion, the end of the project, the moment we are executing the project, we are implementing the project, in between, we always have a kind of uncertainty. Okay, an amount of risk is also there. Okay, the life cycle will come later on it. A life cycle project normally go through 3 phases: planning, execution, and phase out. Okay, we have the temporary nature. The temporary nature, that is, the resources may be moved from one project to the next. We'll see it later in the coming chapters, rather the coming PowerPoint. Once the task has been completed. Okay. For a successful project, it should meet or exceed the expectations of the stakeholder. Okay, I hope you are able to see every phrase I'm reading. You can see it on my slide. Okay, and most are also from the manual. I hope you have all gone through the manual. Okay, I'm here to facilitate you, and I'll try to be very helpful and lenient so that you can understand what is the aim of this subject. Okay, I hope you're here because I can't hear anybody. No reply from your side.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we have, yes, I can see many are joining now. So I hope I have to repeat the plan, okay, for today, and how we are going to proceed with the whole class, how we are going to separate the every chapters during these 4 semesters, 4 classes, okay. So for the project to be successful, we should meet the goals, requirements within the set of time frame, the budget, as you said, somebody said the budget, the quality standards. We have several points that we have to take into consideration to be able to complete our project, okay, and in an efficient manner, I mean to say, okay. We have to achieve stakeholder satisfaction and team satisfaction. Have anybody worked on project before? On a project? Okay, we have to manage resources effectively. Okay, now we go to project management. This was only an idea about what is a project. Okay, I think and everybody has been able to work on a project unknowingly. Unknowingly, project may start from home. Nobody is replying. Are you here?
Yes, ma'am. For example, what can be an example?
Sorry?
What can be an
Yes.
example if we say a project is starts at home?
Yes, a project. A project can be a wedding. Anybody has to prepare for a wedding, it is a project. Okay, a project, it can be a construction of the house. As for example, we have to construct a house. Okay, it depends. It can be profit making, or it is at home. I'm saying a project, that is, you have to plan a budget. If you're planning, everybody has unknowingly planned a project. Maybe as I'm telling, there's a wedding of someone, we have to have a cost estimate, a budget. We have to prepare the expenses. What are we supposed to do? We have a date limit because the wedding scheduled for this day. Example, for a house construction, as I was saying, we have a time frame. On this date, we have to complete the construction. So we have a budget. We have to put on resources. We have to look for a contractor. This unknowingly, you are already working on a project. Okay, as I'm saying, that starts from home. So you're planning how you're going, what is your time frame, the cost, the investment you're going, the money you're going to put in. And even from home, you're going to, let us say you have a piece of land in the compound, in the place you're living. So you're planning to do some plantations. So you have a budget. You have a budget to look after. You want to buy this, you want to invest here. It's little, but it is here. Okay, it is here. Okay, so let's see project management. Okay, yeah. Project management. What is project management? Okay. Now, to start with, we have to identify project opportunities that will fit the organization goal, the project scope. Then we start writing our project proposal where we consider the following. Okay, formulate a profitable project profile. You're here? Yes, you can see here. Let me put next now. Yes, that's good. Project management. This is from your manual. You can read. Okay. Participating doesn't mean only to put up questions, but it is also to share your ideas. Okay. you can as if support what I'm saying, or by elaborating from your side, so that we all participate, so that I know you're here. Okay, so yes, I was saying our project proposal. In our project proposal, we should consider the following. That is to formulate a profitable project profile. But because most projects in organizations are meant for profit, okay? The project will provide details about the cost involved and the revenue generated out of the investment. Okay, revenue, this is the profit out of is the investment made. Like I was saying, at home, if you're planning to plant, it may be for use, it may be for sale, even the construction, it may be to be for renting in future. Okay, you may expect long-term revenue. Okay, it is not only you're constructing for yourself. It all depends. Okay, it's already a project in itself. So as I was saying, the project will provide details about the cost involved and the revenue generated out of the investment, thereby resulting in a profit. Okay, then we should procure funds for the project. Now, if it is an organization or it is a group working on a project, how to proceed with the project, how to put up the project. So they have to mobilize funds through grants, loans, based on nature of the project. Okay? Remember, not all projects are profit-making. As I just said, it can be a project. It is not necessarily meant for revenue. Many are also non-profit projects, many supported by the state. If it is at national level, you will have several projects in organizations where the aim is to make to restore. Let me give some example in Mauritius. Such projects may include those as restorations of building, recreation centers for old age. You have also for child welfare. Anybody can help me? How such project may be non-profit? You have any idea? How can we make projects with what aim? Yeah, I'm saying not all projects are profit making. Okay, I'm saying I have no question. I'm just telling you to support what I'm saying, as if to come up with examples. As I'm saying, not all projects are non-profit. Okay, so I wanted to know what you have in your mind as non-profit. As I'm telling you, at national level, we have projects like restoration of buildings. We have recreation centers for old age. Do you have an idea?
We organize recreational activities for children.
Yes,
Welfare
this is
program.
also yes, as if you set up projects that you have in mind, what you want to do, but there is no profit or revenue in mind as return. So you have only in mind to how are you going to do something, okay? But for this you're planning a project, because it will include cost and it will include resources. You will need equipment. I don't know. It depends. As if depends on the project, what is required. You see, resource. I mean to say, you may require staff if you're planning such a project. This is good. As if you are also participating. I'm having an idea. I want to know you're here. You're with me. Okay. So this is as you can see, we have several ministries. Okay. We have Ministry of Women Rights, Ministry of Agriculture. They all have a budget which they vote. This is for your idea, for your information, which they vote, which they vote for certain projects for the welfare of the state. Okay, welfare of the state, welfare of the people. Okay, as we have as I said, We have an old building that we have to restore. We have recreation centers. This is for Ministry of Women. And we have, as you have youth and sports, as if for this also you have planning for the youth. We organize competitions, you see, with idea to promote, not to make profit. This is non-profit, okay? We may request part funding from both national and international bodies. If there are groups who are planning to make a project and want some funding, where do they get funds? The state provides for the ministries, as I said. But what about the independent organizations who are requesting for funds? Okay, for this at international levels also, we have organizations who help if you request for funds. Okay, at national level, as I said, you have the state. You can have the Mauritius Research Council. This is good. You elaborate on it. The bank also vote for such budgets for promoting, okay, heritage sites and everything. I've come across some projects, okay. And at international level, we have the UNESCO. Are you aware of this? UNESCO, UNFPA, the GEF, WHO. Okay, so these are the organizations that provides funding. I will come up with a template for how do we request for fund from projects. I have one which I'll just make it visible so that you can have an idea. Okay. Scheduling of project activities in such a way as to complete the project within the minimum possible time and cost. So what we should have in mind is to schedule the project activities in such a way that we're able to complete the project within the minimum possible time. The minimum, the better. But we have a time limit for everything, every project. We have the cost voted, so we have to be within the cost. Okay, while preparing the project, it is compulsory to take into consideration the time frame, as I just said, and same applies for the cost. Time and cost are both very important for the project, okay, to complete in an efficient manner. And once the project has been implemented, it has to be monitored closely. Okay, so we must ensure that it is done and completed as expected within the time schedule and cost budget, okay, which is fixed. Now we shall see the project management figure by Jennifer Roussel. Can you see it, everyone? Okay, considering the vision of the figure 1.1, project managerial by Jennifer Roussel. Okay, the above values have been proposed. Okay, so the project manager should include in their decisions, as per Jennifer Roussel, the best interest of the society, the safety of the public, and enhancement of the environment. These are the points that we should take into consideration while we are planning our project. Okay, she lays emphasis on these points. Okay, and I have mentioned some of the successes for the reasons for successful projects. So later you can go through it, okay? Because see, it's already half an hour we are on this. So what I'm happy is you have been able to get an idea about the project. You have also participated. We have talked about budget, time frame, the resources, that is workers, materials, equipments, okay? And for Now let's come to my work. Page 4. Yes. Now let's see page 4. Page 4. And it is also on the screen. Let me change it. Wait. Okay. We'll come in a few minutes to the project manager. Yes. Let me complete. There are 2 more points to complete. Specific knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques. Page 4. Okay, are you following? We'll read together. I'll try to elaborate where necessary. Okay. Specific knowledge, skill, tools, and techniques have to be applied to a broad range of activities in order to meet the requirements of the particular project and expectations. So we have the specific knowledge about the project, the skills, tools, and techniques that should be applied in broad range of activities so as to meet the requirement of the project. So we see everywhere we can see in the project, in the work, that in the manual, I mean in this chapter, that we have to try our best possible with an efficient work so as to deliver the work in an efficient manner within the time and within the cost budget, within the budget, the investment. So project management consists of 5 component processes, which are initiating, planning, executing, controlling, and closing. Okay, everything is clear. So far we have well covered the details about project and project management. Okay, we'll see we have covered how to initiate, how to plan, to execute, and then it comes to control and closing. We'll elaborate more later, don't worry. So it seeks to define and achieve targets while optimizing the use of resources such as time, money, people, and space. Okay, projects should be finished in time using the necessary requirements sufficiently within the budgets and the satisfaction of the user. Okay, so the project should be a satisfied one, a well completed, a well respected project. We have respected the time and we have used our cost as planned. Okay, and resources. This is always our plan when we start our project. But we have uncertainties, as I said, but we have to prepare for this also. Okay, a successful project management is all about structure, control, sufficient attention to detail, and continuous driving action. Okay, so now we'll see the project manager. Now, so far we had talked about the project management, and now it is the project manager. Okay, the role of the project manager. Okay, the role of the project manager is to understand enough project management to apply its structure and ensure that project is sufficiently completed within the time and cost required. We must have a breadth of knowledge because most projects have technical, financial, marketing, and organizational aspects. Okay? You must ensure there is a clear understanding why a project is being done and what will it produce. So everything has to be planned. We should plan the project. Okay, how long, the time, everywhere we shall hear this time, cost, planning, and resources. This will come time and again, even in project management, even as project manager, even on what is a project. Okay. We have to manage the project, how to manage the project to ensure that as the project progresses, it achieves the objective you have defined within the time and cost specified. Again, time and cost specified. Okay, you have to complete the project properly. You have to make sure everything is produced by the project. In quality expected. I mean to say the quality expected. Not because you have a time limit, you have to complete the work, you just finish it, important, the end. No, you have to also take into consideration the quality, and the work should be done as required. Okay, the quality is to the satisfaction of the stakeholders, to the satisfaction of the project, the company, okay, the organization. It is noted that the role of the project manager can start at any time. Okay, you have some project managers who plan, who starts from the beginning, while others, they come at the later stage. It is clearly explained here at page 5. They come at the later stage to execute the plans which they didn't develop themselves, some project managers are appointed to deal with basic issues such as scheduling budget, resource allocation, human relations, and negotiation. It all depends on the type of project. Okay, the project can be a small project, it can be a big project. A big project, you will see you have to hire the services of outside company. Okay, I'll come to it later. Okay, a clear understanding of the project is necessary before a project is initiated and implemented. So we can see here on the table, on the screen, that we have time, cost, and scope. Again, time and cost. You see, these are together because these are interrelated to some extent. Why? We can see that if the scope is enlarged, the scope of the project would require more time. Sorry? Yes, the project would require more time for completion and the cost would also go up. Okay? Because we are adding more time for completion of the project. So the more time we take, the more cost will require, because the time for the money voted for this project was until next month, and suddenly the project is going more than 1 month. So what will happen? How will we complete the remaining? So this means work is still pending. Okay, for this we'll need more money to be able to complete the project. So you can see that more time requires more cost. Okay, if time is reduced now, the scope and the cost would also be required to be reduced. Okay, what happens if we had a plan to complete a project in 2 months and suddenly we are completing it in 1 month? The remaining money that left, it is also reduced, as if it is interrelated. Okay, similarly, any change in the cost would be reflected in scope and time. Okay, scope, that is the goal of the project. So successful completion of the project would require accomplishment of specified goals within schedule, time, and budget. Okay, now let us see the functions of effective project manager. Okay. Here. The key functions of a project
Madame ça a coupé, je crois.
I think there was a problem. Anybody noticed that?
Yes.
You can hear me now?
I can hear you sometime. Yes.
There was a problem. I think there was a problem. Sorry if you no, but I'm here. I'm here. I'm talking about the functions of effective project. Okay. See, time is also running. So lightly, I'll go on some points, and it's quite clear. You don't need much explanation about that. You can go through your manual. But now what we can see is measure performance of the project, monitoring progress, and reporting to higher authorities. So as I explained before, you see, as per the functions of the effective project manager, you have to efficiently choose what you have to include in your project. As you can see, you have training operators, developing a plan of actions, finding different alternatives for the project. You should be very, very effective and do your work efficiently, okay? And choose the best. Establishment of quality assurance to control quality, okay? Selection of suitable equipment, finding suitable financial resources. Okay, these are the qualities of an effective project and an efficient project manager. Okay, you have to measure performance of the project. You have to transfer materials, funds when necessary, depends on the project. You have to monitor your progress. Okay, monitoring of the progress of work and reporting to higher authorities. Okay, as project manager, you have the CEO of the company. You're working as a project manager. You're trying to facilitate the work of the progress, the organization. Okay, you have to present your work through under transparency. All works have to be done efficiently and according to the plan. Okay, how expected, but you have to do your best because it all depends on the project manager, how efficiently he's going to work. Okay, closing all records, submission of final reports, and transfer responsibility of the completion of the specified project. Are you listening? Can you hear me? Okay, good.
Yes,
Important you are here and you are listening. Okay. Hope you're understanding as well, because it is very simple. In simple point, I'm trying to elaborate at my level. Okay, I'm trying to, yes. The Project Management Institute, the PMI, identifies 6 basic functions for a project manager. So everybody, you have institute, you have several organizations, everyone trying to give their opinion about the functions of a project manager. Okay. We have functions that we just talked about, the qualities, the functions. Now let us listen to the Project Management Institute. So what they propose, the basic function of a project manager is to manage the project scope. That is defining the goals and the work to be done. This is more important, okay? The scope. When you start a project, I will show you a project later. Don't worry, I'll show you and we'll talk about that for more clarity. Okay. Now it is on paper. Now let us finish with some of the definitions, some of the points I'm going to elaborate. Then we'll make it more easy. I'll give you examples. So we have to manage the human resource involved in the project. Manage the human resource. It all depends on the project. We have the money, we have the equipment, we have the staff, the space available. Depends on the project, but these are the resources. Okay, we have to manage communication to ensure that all parties involved are sufficiently informed to keep the project on track. As a project manager, you're supposed to provide to communicate. To communicate means you have to organize project meetings. Okay, this is the way you are going to communicate so as to ensure that all parties informed are sufficiently aware and to keep the project on track. You have to organize meetings every weekly meetings, and provide updates where the matter stands, the expenses incurred. Okay, this is what you have to provide. And you have to manage time by planning and meeting the schedule. Okay, the quality to assure satisfactory result and manage costs. The project is performed in an efficient manner and within budget. Everywhere we can see budget, efficiency, we can see the resources. These are the main points every time that I'm repeating. So this is what is required as project manager. Okay, now we have the model of non-profit. Let us talk about non-profit. Okay, because that's something for the non-profit. This is interesting. The project management model adapted to non-profit organization. So management models employed by profit-oriented organization can also be relevant to the management of the emerging non-profit sector. Okay. So let's see what Falconer 1999 identified 4 dimensions needed to develop management that can be generalized to the sector. Can you hear me, vous autres? Am I far? My voice is coming? Good.
Yes, it's good. It's good, ma'am.
Ali, good. Very good, Devina. Yes. So you have stakeholders accountability. Where were we? Ali. So what Falconer identified is 4 dimensions needed to develop management. Place this for me. Okay, wait. Okay, we'll talk a little. I'll give an example of how do we work on non-profit, how we request for funds. Okay, this will ease your understanding. Okay, so for the time being, we identify 4 dimensions: stakeholders accountability, sustainability, service quality, articulation capacity. So, still on? Yeah. Stakeholders accountability refers to the organization's need for transparency and accountability in rendering accounts to its various stakeholders. So everything should be recorded and documented. You see, every project, every work you do regarding the project, many projects plans by NPOs, non-profit organizations, are rejected. Why? Due to lack of information regarding the objectives, impacts, the abilities, results, and benefits of the project. Okay? It's not well explained. NPOs should generally be professional in carrying activities. We have professionals, but they are independent organizations trying to request for funds. They work, they don't make profit, but they want to do something good. We have SOS Patrimoine, we have SOS. I'll talk about most about the heritage. I have put a work here. Okay, you can see. Let me finish. This is a documentation. I'll come to it. So this will allow them to better compete to avoid a decline in resources and meet the requirements of project approval. Okay, the relationship with sponsors. Let me finish with the explanation, then I come to this project. Okay, this is an example. Okay, one example. So the relationship with sponsors and partners should also be enhanced. Okay, you should prove yourself. You should create a not only a good relationship, but also your competence, your ability. You should create a profile of yourself. And projects should be carried out with considerations of the interest of funding body while maintaining a relationship with the organization's mission. Okay? You should, comme si, aller avec courant de l'eau. Pas contre courant. Okay? So NPOs must adapt to new dynamics of management guided by efficiency, focus, and timely results. Again, time, again, focus, efficiency. Their function is of public interest. It is important that NPOs cultivate transparency regarding their project portfolio, as well as results achieved and resources allocated. So it should be a very well-planned project, as you can see on the screen here. This is a project where we have, it's not easy there. You are looking for international fund here. Okay, international fund. You can't just prepare a project, tentative project with not sure cost estimates, not exact one. You don't know, suddenly you have more cost incurring and you're not sure about things. Okay, but when you're applying for international requests for fund, they won't give you full fund. They will always give you part fund, and you have to show that you have enough at your end. When they see your project is really interesting, really according to their requirements, then only they will consider your project. And if it is well explained, good transparency, and all resources are well defined, then only they will consider, because they also have certain limitation to their requirements. Okay, they can't go against their rule. Okay, so their function is public interest. It is important that NPOs cultivate transparency regarding their project portfolio, as well as result achieved and resources allocated, which further enhance the effective and transparent implement of their resources. Okay, we have many so well, we can see what is expected from the funding body. We have many organizations which are ready to provide financial help to specific projects. If the project meets the expectation of the funding body, then the NPOs can attain their goal of realizing their project, releasing fund. Okay, now fundraising proposes PMI methodology, proposes 5 steps of planning and managing a project: fundraising, project execution, project monitoring, control, and closure. Again, fundraising, but here it is not fund, it is fundraising. Fundraising means we have to look for fund, we have to plan fundraising. Project execution, then following fundraising, once we have the fund, we go for project execution, we monitor our project, we control the project, we control the work, we project, then we have the project closure, okay, and evaluation. The project fundraising step is divided into 2 processes: planning fundraising, then we conduct the fundraising, then we sign the agreement once it is agreed. Okay, here you can see the project. Okay, the project itself is called a documentation and inventory of intangible cultural heritage in the Republic of Mauritius. This is a project from the ministry, under the aegis of the Ministry of Arts and Culture. You have the National Heritage Fund. I'm taking these examples because they requested for fund from UNESCO. So UNESCO helps to restore heritage buildings. So to restore all documents, inventory of intangible cultural heritage. I'm not going to be much in detail about this. Our aim is the project request of fund. Intangible cultural heritage is our culture, our heritage culture, and it's not mainly building, but it's also our culture which we are trying to restore, and the documentation and inventory. Okay, so here is the project, but see how it has been calculated in horizontal form. You can see project components, you can see details and duration, human resource, costs, and the total budget. This is a big project which has been partly funded by UNESCO, and same was approved accordingly and subsequently. So you can see the project component, you can see what is required. Here is project coordination. You have a time frame for this. Are you listening? Are you here? Yeah.
Yes.
You have project coordination. I can only hear 2 voices from the start. Yes. But this is a confidential file. I'm afraid it goes out. Yes. But you can have an idea though. Okay. I'm just putting it on screen because it is okay. If you want to have it for your personal, you want to use it as a reference, that's it. You can see. Okay. Let me see. But you can see what has been written here. You can see, is it visible on screen? Okay. This is only for an idea, okay? You have project component, you have the duration, you have the human resources. This is one project for which fund has been requested from UNESCO. This is not a profit-making project. This is a project to restore and to document an inventory of our cultural heritage in Mauritius. Okay. Because there's budget implication, that's why I don't want to share it, but it's good that you have an idea how it is conducted. Okay, so you can see throughout the whole duration of the project, you have the project coordination. A project coordinator's services is hired to conduct the project, to coordinate the project, and his services has been hired for 14 months. There is a duration. You see, duration is not only for the project, it is for each and every resource person, okay? But the project has to be completed with this time frame. That's different to the duration of each and every resource person here, okay? Duration it is independent. Project coordination, it is 14 months, full-time, okay? And the human resource is project coordinator, and the cost is, you can see the cost is a huge amount for 14 months. How this has been calculated to you to ease your understanding. Okay, in Mauritian rupees, whilst we specify dollar here because it is an international project. Okay, secondly, we'll need consultancy services, 40 man days, okay, 30 man days. Man days is per person. Okay, one person, 30 days. Okay, we'll need an anthropologist, a politician, a historian, because they are well versed in this project. Okay, this is meant for this project. Okay, this can be different for other projects. We may not need these people, but still we'll need consultancy. Okay, this is phase one now. You see, this is the services is different. Their services will be here overall project, for the overall project. And phase one, we'll see it is 1, 2, 3 months. We'll have to divide because it is a big project, a long-term project. Okay, so this is big work, big inventory. This is a big project and requires more time, more money, and more resource. You can see we have divided it into phases. You have phase one, phase two, phase three, but the services of project coordination and consultancy will be required overall. Okay, now phase one, what are we going to require is bibliography and documentation. This is only for you to have an idea, okay, how works are done. Documentation, because it is related to documentation. So phase one, they are going to concentrate on bibliography and documentation. Phase two, we have collecting the data. Okay, this is more in ministries project, in organizations. You're going to work anywhere tomorrow. This is how you're going to proceed. Okay, designing the questionnaire, interviewing, transcribing, editing. Anthropologists will do this, will do follow up on this work. You have how many, it is well classified. You will see, you will have an idea how things are going. Okay, with time, work is going to be bigger. Okay, responsibilities are going to get more, get bigger. Okay, remuneration to community members. Why remuneration? Because you're working on questionnaire, you're questioning people, because this is a project on heritage. You have the culture of people, you have to find these people. This is a big work, you know. You have to look for people. This is not your job, but as project manager, you have to ensure that this is done by the hired people to do this work. They are going to interview people for you as you do your assignments, your project, final project. You will see when you will be the final year doing your project, your assignment. You will have to question people. You have to work on questionnaire, on open-ended questionnaire, close-ended questionnaire based on the title of your project. You have to question people. Okay. Sorry, wait. Mets sur vidéo pour moi. No, don't stop sharing. Wait. Sorry, I want to, yes. Video. Okay. Yes. No, this one. Okay. Okay. So you can see me. I hope you can see me. Okay, I'm here. Okay, so what you can see here, let me come back to the project so that I can elaborate. Some are latecomers, so at least they know who I am. Okay, so can you see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
where were we? The remuneration to community members. Remuneration to community members. Okay. As I said, you're working on your interview questions. You're approaching community members. You're trying to ask them about the story of the country, the heritage, and then you're going to work, and then you are going to get satisfaction reply from them. Then only you're going to remunerate these community members, because they don't, you cannot expect people to reply to your interview question sometimes for nothing, because the people don't have time. You will see nowadays, this is heritage, but nowadays things are different. Okay. So you have to remunerate these people. So if your plan is for 300 persons, you're going to ask question with the time is limited, and we have some more to go. Okay, so you will see you have to pay these people. So there is a budget for them, voted for 300 people. You will see there is 500 rupees per person. This is a token amount voted for these people who are going to, these are not young people, these are old people who have a culture, who have a background about the history of Mauritius. So you have to question these people, and they are going to reply. You are going to get to know things about you didn't know. So this is what you're going to do when you're going to do your final project. Maybe you need to approach people for your questions, for your questionnaire. So this way they will reply, but not necessarily for payment. This is different things. Okay, this has a budget voted, but you're going to work on it. So it's good that you have an idea also. Okay, then you have a mission to Agalega, because this is also part of the country. Okay, Agalega, Saint-Brandon. So these also were taken into consideration, but see what is happening here. In the project, you can see that there are research assistants along with anthropologues whose services are going to be hired. Okay, these are the resources. I'm elaborating on the resources. See how resources are. How do we say, there's a word for, nobody's helping me. I'm only talking. Maybe you don't have an idea what I want to say. This is very vast. Okay, this is not a project like you end here with the resource person. You did some stuff. No, you need the staff to go to the other country also, as Rodrigue Island. See, mission to Rodrigues, mission to Agalega, Saint-Brandon. Why? We also have our ancestors. This is also considered in Mauritian countries. Okay, they are all part of Mauritius. So their opinion is also counted. They also have a heritage. They also have a past. They also have an opinion to share with us. Okay, so we have to see these people also. So there is a fund voted for them, for these people to go and make their inquiry there, to do their work. Okay, then we have a phase 3. After the work is done, I have not printed this, I'm sorry. But we have a small phase here also. We have a phase 3. Once publication is done, one work is done, we have publication, submission of report, soft copies, evaluation of report, production of CD-ROM for dissemination, and cataloging and indexing. Now you see, once the interview has been conducted, you have this and this to do. This is part of your project. Okay, this is what you're going to do at the end of third year. Okay, on completion of your what you're doing, your BSc. Okay, on completion, you have to work on your project. This is also a project. This is the project with another idea. That is, you have other plan for this project. It is not for it's not non-profit. It is with an aim, with another scope. That's it. It's another scope. You have to complete your studies. You have some planning to do. This clause will help you, but you will see this is you don't need cost about that, but it is a project. Same as I said at the beginning, you have a project of construction, you have a project, you have a studies, you have a project. If you're paying, this is also a cost. You have a small cost, no? You have to prepare your project. You have to see how you're going to proceed. These are the resources. It's a big project final year. Okay, so let's come back, because see, we are already, that's why I had to start on time, because not all were present, but still I had to start on time. So yeah. So we'll see conceptualization phase, where the project idea is conceptualized with initial consideration of all possible alternatives for achieving the project objectives. You see how with the idea it's become established, and you have the planning phase. In this phase, the project structure is planned based on project appraisal and approvals. Okay, and you have the execution phase. All these we have already spoken before, but just to remind you, the phase of the project witnesses the concentrated activity where the plans are put into operations. Important activities in this phase are communicating with stakeholders, reviewing progress, monitoring cost and time. Okay, this you have gone through. You have a big idea about that. We have already spoken about that. Okay. Now you have the termination phase. Okay, I'm not going to be too much on detail, because see, we have chapter 2. Chapter 2 is bigger. Okay, and we have a project also to explain in this. Okay, so the termination phase. This phase marks completions of the project wherein the agreed deliverables and are installed and project is put to operations with arrangements for follow-up and evaluations. Okay, now we have other definitions of project management. This you can go through. Okay, it's already on your paper. You have several definitions, as project management is concerned with the overall planning and coordination of the project from inception to completion. Okay, inception means from the start, from the beginning, from what is in your mind, from here until completion. Time within cost and required quality standards. Okay, I'm just taking one of the definitions that have been shown here. So I give you 5 minutes to go through the questions. You have seen the self-assessment questions. You have seen? Are you here? Are you hearing? Have you seen self-assessment questions? Yes, yes. So you just go through, define the term project management, clearly explain clearly what is meant by project. Okay, you can go through these papers. I give you 5 minutes. You can see I have something differentiate between project management models employed by profit orientation organizations. What's more interesting for me here is outline the key responsibilities of a project manager. Give examples to utilize your answer. I prepared something, but I don't think I'll have time about that, because I have an assignment for you, but I'll discuss about it. I would like to show you the assignment that is going to be worked by you, but it is after capital budgeting. But do you want me to show you the assignment? I'll give only one assignment for next 2 weeks for you to, later we'll discuss on this, okay? Because after the chapter 2, Okay, let me give you the assignment question.
Yes,
Okay, you
ma'am.
can go through. Okay, allez, off. Are you here? Hello, hello.
Yes,
Yes.
madam.
Have you seen the assignment question?
Yes.
But this
Yes,
is
ma'am.
more related to the next chapter. But don't you worry, I'm here. I'll give you clue how to reply to my questions, how to reply to this assignment. And then this is what I'm going to expect. Okay. You don't have to worry about that. I have put it on Mauritian context, but I'm going to elaborate on it so that it will ease you working. We'll find some 15 minutes for this because I tend to take much time. Okay, this chapter is very big, so we'll have to start quickly. Yes? Yeah, yes, sure. This is just, I wanted some 5 minutes to let you see in the meantime before starting the second chapter. Sure, I will post it. Okay. Who is talking to me? I can hear only your voice and a lady's voice. It's, yes. Okay. Vinesh. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
oh, video because I have missed stuff from the beginning. I got just connectivity problems. You will be
I hear you very.
posting the video accordingly.
Recording the recordings.
Because I missed the first part.
Okay, no worry. I'll do it. Okay. But let me finish this class then. Okay. Yes, I'm starting chapter 2, then I'll do it. Okay. Let me finish because it's a big chapter. So chapter 2 is budgeting. Okay. So budgeting, nature of budgeting, utility of capital budgeting. You will see project costing. Now you will see for project costing, we start with budgeting. Every project depends on the amount of money required. As you see from the beginning, we are laying emphasis on money cost. If you have a bigger budget, you could probably get more people to do your project more quickly and deliver more. This is why no project plan is complete until you come up with a budget. As I said, a budget is the most important, as explained above. Budget, everything depends on budget and our plan. We plan how we plan our project based on the budget. Okay, so we come up with detailed estimates for all the project costs. Once compiled, we add up the cost estimate into a budget plan. Often when we come into a project, there is already an expectation of how much it will cost and how much time it will take. We have been elaborating on it before, okay? We have an expectation, how much it will cost the project and how much time it will take, and this is the project. And therefore, we have an estimate which is more refined with time. When we start as if going in depth with the project, you will see that the budget is going to be more refined because we have already started. We know where matter stands. We know what are the requirements, which techniques we are going to adopt, okay, and the tools and the estimating cost will be in front of our eyes as if. Okay, so the determination of resource cost rates, people who will be working on the project all work at a specific rate. Determining resources cost means figuring out what the rate for labor and materials will be. Okay, determining of resources. Can you see page 14? Page 14. I want you to see page 14. Okay, let's see the vendor bid analysis. You will see one thing, okay? Sometimes you will need to work with an external contractor. As we saw in the project before, we have to hire the services. Let me talk to you in this phase. Let us say we have a project to fence a piece of land, to fence a building. Okay, we have to fence a building. Can you hear me? For this fencing, we have to make a big payment. It is not going to cost below 25,000. It is going to cost, it has a cost depending on the size of the compound. Okay, as if we are going to close this building, we have to do fencing. So for this, we have to prepare, we have to expect a budget for that. So for this, we are going to hire yeah, for this, we have to need more contractors, contracts, sorry. We have to see the contracts from different people, okay? What are they proposing? Because we have a budget at our end. Suppose we have put 50,000 for this fencing of this size. Suppose, I'm not talking about big money. Suppose I'm proposing 50,000 for this compound. This is a government compound, but I'm not sure at how much it may cost. So I will expect to get contracts, as if contractors to propose their budget, their planning, how much they are going to bid. Okay, we will expect a quotation. Okay, so for this quotation, they are going to put details, what they are going to require. That's why they are paying so much for this fencing of the building. Okay, maybe Mr. A will propose 45,000. Why? Because he has proposed for the quality work, the best fence from the best shop. And he is proposing professional workers to do this work. Okay, this is one. B is proposing, it is fencing of a building. Let us propose this fence. It will go as long. So it can resist big rain, cyclone. So let us put this. And the resources are here and here. Okay, we'll need 4 workers. We can manage it. He has proposed some 30,000. Okay, so we'll get several quotations, out of which we are going to choose one. Okay, as per our requirement. If we're going to get quality work, this is one rate. If we're going to fence the building for all, once for all, it's going to be this price, the cheaper price. So this is a bid. Okay, this is how we analyze, reserve analysis. For this, we have to see our budget. Okay, don't forget, for the vendor bid, we have to see our budget. Okay, and reserve analysis. We need to set aside some money for cost overturns. Okay, cost overturns. We have a reserve. Why? It is better to have some cash available to deal with it. Reserve analysis means putting some cash away in case of overruns. Mainly if the project is at risk. Sometimes we are planning a project, but we may have cyclone problem and the work get extended. So we have to keep a reserve somehow. There are problems that may arise in between, because this is not in the plan. Okay, we are planning a project, we have this and this. So we need to provide a sum for reserve, because we may not know what is, even for any, we can take any example. Okay, we can see down, it is always written, how do we say it? A type of contingency, any unexpected problem that can arise. So we have a reserve for it. And the cost of quality is cheaper. It is cheaper to find bugs earlier in the project than later. So we always look for quality. If the project is about food, you can see that this is going to be very serious. Okay, even if it is of cheap quality, you will see it will get perished before the expected time, because it is going to be exposed to the climate of especially Mauritius. You can see it is unexpected rain, unexpected cyclone. So this can affect our project. Okay, so we'll have to look for the quality work. Okay. So it is the amount of money it takes to do the project right. Okay. Now let's see the capital budgeting. Okay. Capital budgeting. See, I'm not missing any part. I hope you are following the work from very close. Capital budgeting is the process of evaluating major projects and investments. Okay, here what we are doing, it is a managerial technique of planning capital expenditure whose benefits are expected to extend beyond 1 year. These are big projects here. So you can see there are big projects such as expenditure on acquisition of new buildings, improvement of existing building, replacement of plant, machinery, acquisition of new facilities, new machines. So here we can see this is a long-term project, capital budgeting. So when we plan for a capital budgeting, when we are looking for, we have below, we can see we have several planning. As if we take the problem of improvement of existing building, we can see there are several points that we are going to consider as when we are planning the project, the expenses. You will see several sub-projects will come, sub-expenses will come. As you saw the big project I gave you as example, you see how to hire these services, following which a bigger services. So this has to be well explained. This for this we can see it is a project that may extend beyond 1 year, and the profit also is a long-term profit. Permanent addition to working capital as well as resource development expenditure are also regarded as capital expenditure. We'll see the capital expenditure also here. You may have restoration of, as said, I'm following the project I gave you. You will see that capital budgeting is to find a way to determine whether the benefit associated with the project exceeds the cost associated with the development and running of the project. So what we are proposing, it is not in terms of improving the existing building, but what are we going to get in long term? If we are restoring the building, if we are replacing new machineries, is it going to be beneficial in long term? Is it going to be worth changing? We can take each example proposed in your paper here. Okay, acquisition of new facilities. You will see replacement of plant and machinery. We can go, let us take this. Capital budgeting is the most important technique employed in assessing financial viability of the project. Okay, this is all interrelated. Capital budgeting, utility of capital budgeting. You will see capital budgeting also acts as a planning and control device. Okay, as a planning tool, it helps the management to determine long-term capital requirements and timing of such requirements. So you can see it is a very big project. We have a long timing, and what we are going to change, will it be beneficial in long term? As I proposed before, the replacement of plant and machinery, will it be beneficial in long run? As we have, I'll take example in later, you will see. Okay, it also serves as control device when it is employed to control expenditure. Okay, as planning tool, it helps the management to determine long-term capital requirement and timing of such requirements. Okay, so allocating prudently the funds among the project by providing useful guidelines in identifying useful projects and ranking them in terms of economic desirability to choose the most promising one. Okay, thus it helps an organization in strengthening its financial health and also its competitive position. So while we are planning this, it is not always necessary for profit making, but also for the well-being of the organization. As you saw here, in terms of economic desirability, to choose the most promising one. This is in terms of economics. Otherwise, it is for its maintenance. as I talked before, let's talk about a building restoration, a fencing of a building. This can be for the welfare of the non-profit, okay? But here, when we are talking of capital, we are expecting a return, but a long-term return. Several projects may gather, but the return should be fruitful, okay? Major projects and investment. This is what is concerned about capital budgeting. Let me be more elaborating in this 2.4. Okay, investment proposal and administrative aspect. Let us take an example. Okay, we have a big project, we have proposed several projects, and we have a capital budget which we are going to provide to the for approval to the. Let us take the example of a ministry. Okay, every ministry has a budget. You see budget every year in June, July, a project that they are going to create hospitals. These are big projects, long-term projects. Okay, so here they before talking about that, they come up with a project planning. Okay, the capital budget process involves several steps. First steps is the capital budget process is to assemble a list of proposed new investment together with the data necessary to appraise them. So these are the steps how we start with it. Okay, so we start somewhere. So we have prepared a capital budget, which you will see we are going to submit for approval. Okay, we have a big project that we are going to submit for approval. You will see that important aspects of capital budgeting involves administrative matters. Approval are typically required at higher levels within the organization as we move away from replacement decision and other some involves increase. Okay, so this project that we have worked out, a capital budget, we are submitting for approval to the ministry. Okay, from here, this project is going to be analyzed. Okay, once one of the most important function of the board of directors is to approve the major outlays in a capital budgeting program, as well as to the total capital budget for each planning period. As you saw the big project, do you want me to give you the project now, how we are going to work on it? I have a new project on the reform. This is a capital budget. Okay, a big project whose approval is required. Okay, let me show you. This will be clear. Okay, because here we are reading and I'm slightly elaborating on the work. Okay, in the meantime, let me talk and I'm uploading the project. Okay, so this is how the ministries operate. Each department prepare their capital budget for the financial year and submit for approval. This because financial year, because it is a long-term project, 1 year project. Okay, and you will see capital budgeting program varies with the nature of the industry. When sales can be forecast with a high degree of reliability for 10 to 20 years. Okay, here you can see at page 20, the planning period is likely to be corresponding long. For instance, that would apply to electricity companies. Let us take electricity companies as an example first. Okay, if you will see that the capital budget program varies with the nature of the industry. Here I talk about ministry. Every ministry provide their, you can have parastatal bodies like CB, CWA. They all provide a capital budget, an annual capital budget which they propose for approval. Okay, this is a budget that is taken into consideration at higher level for approval, for which they see the work. How do you say the? Wait. There's specific word for that. I can't find the word. it's okay. So they see how they are going to analyze it, what I mean to say, before they approve the project. But every organization have a budget, a capital budget. They send their project accordingly, a big project, which is going to be approved at higher level by the ministry. The Ministry of Finance is going to consider these projects and will allocate budget for this and this upon their importance, because they are going to appraise the project and then they are going to approve the project. Let us see for the CB what it has been said. When sales can be focused with a high degree of reliability from 10 to 20 years, the planning period is likely to be corresponding long. Okay, so for instance, this would apply for electrical company. So regarding the production of electricity, the life cycle of a power plant is normally 20 years. Okay, so we have the domestic demand, we have the commercial growth, we have the industrial part. Okay, where we have increased where we have increased information for industries. This is information. This is available at government level. Upon forecast, more machinery purchase is required than it is at industrial level. Okay, upon demand of domestic, you will see more population is more people are requesting for electricity. Based on this, there is long-term profit. So for this, we have to add additional plant, because life cycle of one power plant, as I said, is normally 20 years. And how mentioned here, when sales can be focused with a high degree of reliability, 10 to 20 years, the planning period is likely to be correspondingly long. Okay, this I suppose for a CB, how they can add more machine, because this is a long-term project for better return. Okay, once a capital budget has been adopted, funding must be scheduled. So again, we come on capital budget which has been adopted, for which funding must be scheduled. Okay, funding must be scheduled, and the financial department is responsible for scheduling, acquiring funds to meet schedule requirements. Okay, so the Ministry of Finance, the finance department, you have a finance department in every organization. You will see, if you go to the Ministry of Youth and Sport, you will go to independent organization, everywhere you have a finance department. Now you have big project, big capital budget, you making several projects, and you have to get approval for same. This is going to be financed by the finance department. Okay, which is responsible for scheduling, accounting funds, and meet schedule requirements. Okay, and from here, this will be done upon good appraisal of the project. Okay, if really we are requiring this, if it is going to be beneficial in long term, as I said, for the electricity company, we are adding more plants and machinery. Why? Because of course it is, we will see the demand is increasing. Now we have more, you can see more companies opening, you can see more industries, you can see more use of computer, more use of electricity at home, you can see more requirements for electricity. So in this case, more machinery is required. Now, once the money has been disbursed, the fund voted has been approved. Okay, you will see there is a close follow-up of the fund provided. It is not as if the finance section has given the money and it is over. No, there is a close follow-up. Okay, and the monitoring of the work. Okay, on the use of the fund. It is not as if the fund has been voted and the project is done. No, they are going to have close follow-up of what you have been doing with the fund. Okay, there should be an effective capital budgeting program which is required. Okay, and a periodic review and evaluation of the capital expenditure decisions, and feedback of control phase and capital budgeting, often called the post-audit review. Okay, So you will see there is a strict follow-up about this work. Now let us see the dairy farm company. I have deleted the name of the person. This is a project. You will see a project overview. Okay, this is an overview of it. This is a long-term project. This is by, let me see the project. I have it in my hand. Where is the project? It's 12. Oh, time is limited. You will see why dairy farm. Le projet. Project. Oh, dairy farm. Wait. You will see there is the company is expansion. This is a long-term project, but it is for Ministry of Agriculture. You will see why this man is proposing for this person is proposing for budget and he's proposing for his work to be done. Yes. Let us see this project. This project was not with me now. Views of market. Why this project is being set up? Let us see here. Okay, at page 7, you will see. Can you see this project?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you here?
Yes.
We can see it.
Yes, you can see the project at page 7. You will see the views in the market. During the past years, we have seen a downfall rate in the production of fresh milk. Okay, this person has an idea about this. During the past years, we have seen a downfall in the rate of production of fresh milk and animals, and also a rise in the price of powdered milk. Okay, it is in fact the declared policy of the government to develop dairy farming locally. Okay, this person, market opportunities exist, and it will enable the country to become self-sufficient and save in foreign exchange for the import of dairy products. So this is what we identify before we set up a project. This is how he identified the project. He views in the market. He sees there is a lack of powdered milk and there is more importation. Fresh milk is unavailable. So he is planning for a dairy farm company. Okay, so for this, he has worked on a project. We can see different phase of this project. Okay, we can see the investment cost. He has several investment costs. At page 5, you can see he has to work on a building. He has fencing of his land. Previously, we said fencing of land, electricity and water. These are the points he's going to use to require. The transport, he's intelligent to look for pregnant cows so that he can plan for future project, how he's going to work on his returns. He has these other investments. Okay, the table below presents an approximate investment and operational cost. Okay, he will import 25 cows more in the second, and a second building will be erected. This is his long-term plan. Okay, so he will require water pump. He's doing this on a state land. The equipments required, milking machine, time is very limited. So he's going to work on these points. Okay, I think I will not be able to. I'm supposed to end class at 12:30. So I can see. I don't know. Yes, time is limited. I have to view the analytical. Let me, so this point is still here. You will see how he's working on this, his investment. Let us see the cash flow. He has a cash flow here. We'll explain on this, on the cash flow. Let us go back to our manual on page 21. We have the overview of the administrative aspects of the capital budget and analytical problems. We have, no, let the project be here. Let the project be here. I will just go on pages. We'll read the manual. Okay, I'll not check the PowerPoint. I will just put the project here. Okay, so that we can discuss on it. Okay. Now we see on our manual, page 21. we see that choosing among alternative proposals. You see, this man has proposed this project because in the market he has seen that there is a lack of fresh milk. He can see that there is, I talked on this before. Okay, so choosing among alternative proposal, here we see that NPOs will receive more proposal for projects than they are actually willing to finance. No, here is for NPOs, non-profit. Okay, but still we can see they have how we can say a variety of plan proposals, and they have to select the best according to what they can manage, they can work on, okay, related to their organization. Okay, now here it is for NPOs, okay, because the above techniques that have been talking before, time is limited, I have to, the approval received, it is also for non-profit organization. Here the dairy farm is the profit organization. Let us go back to non-profit faster, so that we can have an idea what here has been proposed in manual, page 21. This is non-profit, will receive more proposal, but they have to work for which more methods have to be developed to distinguish between the good and the poor proposals. Okay, this is for choosing among alternative proposals. Second, you have mutually exclusive proposals or alternative methods of doing the same job. Okay, doing the same job, but mutually exclusive proposal. This word we will use afterwards, you will see in cash flows. Okay, but this is alternative methods of doing the same job. Okay, one piece of equipment is chosen, other will not be required. So one is enough, no need to go for the other one, but we look for the best. As always, the selection of man method makes it unnecessary to use the other one. And we have the independent projects that are being considered for different kinds of tasks that need to be accomplished. This one is different project. It's not like mutually exclusive proposal that you have alternative methods, but for the same job. There it is mutually exclusive. Here it is independent project. It is for different tasks, okay? And finally, you have projects that may be contingent. Contingent, for example, there may be only one way to build a football stadium, but two ways of housing, okay? This is contingent, okay? We'll do it fast because we have to work on the cash flow, okay? Cash flow is very big work. Managing the budget, it is necessary for the project manager to be able to identify when costs are varying from the budget and manage those variations. This is also important, Wuzar. The varying cost, the varying budget, which the variations which has also to be managed, the cost of varying from the budget. Okay, the cost may vary, and you as you are managing the project, so you have to manage those variations. Okay, managing cash flow. Here is the variation that you can see. Okay, if the total amount spent on project is, I went back to the non-profit. That's why I had to see this choosing of alternative projects. This is, anybody can go for it, even a profit making, non-profit making, but profit making, this was what required. That's why I went back. Now we see the cash flow here. If the total amount spent on the project is equal or less than the amount budgeted, the project can still be in trouble. Okay, you manage the cash flow. Okay, if the funding of the project is not available when needed. You see, you have the budget, but the budget is not available on time. How do you manage? This is also a problem. Okay, funding for the project should be done on time so that you can manage your project. Remember always, okay, you may be funded, you may have the fund, but it should be disbursed the time you are working on it. The financial people prefer to keep the money of the company working in other investment. Okay, you have the bank, you have given your money there. The money is not in the bank now, but it is invested in other projects. It is providing loan. The bank is providing loan to other company. You know it. They use your money to make profit. So they have provided loan. They have provided money to people and they are making more % of profit out of it. And you are putting your money in the bank for long term and you're receiving only a little %. So at the time you are working on your project, you need your money, you go to bank, the bank should be able to disburse that very fund on time. Okay, because often financial people prefer to keep the money of the company working in other investment. Even companies do this. They have several projects. They invest in the meantime on the other project, but this project is also on. So they have to manage this part, okay, before transferring it to project account. So they have to ensure that they are getting the money. When you're working on your project, you ensure that the money is here, not only on paper, is here available. When the workers are looking for their money, you must be able to provide it to the workers, the resource persons. Okay, contingency reserves. Most people or sometimes, most projects have something unexpected occur. Okay, unexpected that increases cost above the original estimates. Okay, sometimes you can see that there is contingency reserve. It is impossible to predict which activities will cost more than expected. Often you will see you're working on this, suddenly the price of cement has gone high. So what do? The purchase of equipment, it is going to increase in terms of cost. So it was unexpected. Suddenly this was not planned, but based on dollars rate, based on inflation, based on, you have conditions where you can see that there are unpredicted expensive costs that can incur. Then for this, you have the contingency reserve. Okay, you always add this. As before I said, there is unexpected expenses that may incur. So when you work your project, always vote for this sum for in contingency, which is going to meet the unplanned expenses. Okay, then only the project will complete within the budget. Okay, you're not going to extend your budget. It is in your project in contingency, so it is within your budget. Okay, it was planned, it was expected, because you can't expect any change. You have this fund voted, it is within your budget, your project. Okay, your project has been including contingency, so everything is in order this way. Management reserves, this is different. This is management reserve. If something occurs during the project that requires a change in the project scope, money may be needed to deal with the situation before, and a change in the scope can be negotiated. But this is not, these funds are called management reserve. Unlike contingency reserves, they are not likely to be spent and are not part of project budget baseline. This is upon discretions of the management, but they can be included in the total project. Okay, let's see the cash flows. Because see what time it is now. I think I'll have to, okay. I'm a little in a rush because I can see the time. It is nearly 12:30. We have to stop, and I have to discuss about the project, about the assignment which you have to submit in 2 weeks' time. Okay, so let's see the cash flows here. Okay, no problem. Yeah, the cash flow. You will see different cash flows here. Cash flow forecast when 2010, 2011. You will see this man has worked his cash flows for different years. What are his expenses and what is his profit? You will see in the project here. So we will have to check the sum calculations. Let me see the evaluation investment proposals. Some of the commonly used techniques for financial analysis and for evaluating investment proposal. Here it is a direct payback method. Payback method, you have a project, you have invested 1,500, and you will see later in 1 year how you will recover back your money in how many years. You have invested 1,500. You go to your manual, page 25. You have invested 1,500. In year 1, you are going to obtain 150. Okay. In year 2, 1,350. Cumulative cash flow is on the right side. You will see 150 plus 1,350. Your money is back in 2 years. Okay, this is your plan of payback. Okay, you recover the initial project investment in 2 years. This is payback method. Okay, I'm going to be fast because I have to explain this assignment to you. Okay, so that you can work on the assignment. Okay, then secondly, we have the let's see afterwards. We have project A, project B, project C, project D. One in 2 years, one in 4 years, one in 3 years. Okay, so project A would be chosen as the best among the 4 mutually exclusive alternatives. Project A, alternative method of doing the same job. Why we will choose project A? Because in 2 years, we are already getting back our money. Okay, the project B is in 4 years, project C is 4 years, project D is 3 years. What is important? You get back your money first, then you go on profit. Okay, in 3 years is because you see this is payback. It is not going to look at discount factor. Discount factor is what? Discount factor we'll discuss in next the coming points. Okay, there, as I said, year 2 you are recovering back your money. Example 1 is uniform annual return. Let's take an example quickly. Okay, here a farmer has invested 20,000 in constructing a fish pond and gets annual net return 5,000. Okay, in how many times, in how many years he gets back his 20,000? It's simple calculation. 20,000 the investment, you divide by the return 5,000. It is in 4 years. Okay, this is uniform annual return. Okay, the money is same every year. Okay, this is the same return every year. In 4 years, every year you get it, you get the investment covered. Okay, I hope you're following. Okay, it's page 27. Okay, now you take investment. Yes, now you take the varying annual return. Varying, I mean to say year 1, 60,000 income, year 2, 70,000, year 3, 85,000. Okay, this is the income. Annual expenditure, 30,000. What is the annual return? Annual return, here it's, how do you get the return? It is income minus expenditure. Okay, 60 minus 30 makes you 30,000. Okay, now cumulative return is you put the 30,000 on the other side. Wait, Saha? Yeah, I hope you're following. Okay, it's on page 27. We are working on varying annual return. Okay, 60 minus 30, you have the 30. You have the 30,000 cumulative. Okay, 30,000. Second year 70 minus 30 is 40. Third year is 85 minus 25. It's 60. You do cumulative. When will you get back your money? Yes, tell me. Tell me, Devika.
Madam, I have a proposal.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Madam, since time is a problem for us, can't we have another session during the weekdays where you explain to us more detail and giving much more
But
time for
we
our
are supposed to
assignment?
conduct in only 4. We are supposed to conduct in only 4 semester. You see, unless you read it, you read this, you read it, and you go through. If any question, next semester, next class, I'll explain in more details about it. And let me check the assignment question, which is more important, which you are supposed to submit next class. Let me talk about it. Okay, let me put can you go through the questions in the cash flows? Can you go through it? If there's any question, I will elaborate in the next class, because I'm allowed only 4 class. Okay, for the chapters, and then the 5th one will be revision.
Ma'am,
Okay,
if we
so
have
let me, yes,
from our side, from the student side, if we ask them for one class due to the lack of time, so they might provide us, because for other sessions we are having one more classes if we lack time.
Ah, it's good. It's good. Yes, you may request, but I don't know how it happens. Eh? Let me. Yes, that's good. You may ask. That's good. If it is possible. I don't know. I've been informed that I have only four classes and one class is for revision. Okay. But let me see the assignment question. Can you see?
Yeah.
Sarah, share. Yes, I'm sharing it to you, but let me tell you how you're going to reply this. If you get one class, that would be very good so that I could elaborate more about the answer, because I want all of you to do a good work. Okay, so I'll give you some clue how to reply to this question. Okay, you will see that evaluate the alignment of Mauritian capital budgeting practices with international standards. Okay, analyze the principal challenges faced by Mauritian firms considering both macroeconomics and microeconomic factors. You have been doing this subject, no? In sociology, social work or social studies. Examine recent capital budgeting projects in Mauritius, assessing their impact on national economic development. Based on your analysis, propose advanced recommendation for refining capital budgeting process to improve investment efficiency and strategic financial planning. See, what I'm expecting from you is an evaluation of capital budgeting practices in Mauritius. You please note, okay, so that you may have an idea how to reply. Okay, I want an introduction from you about capital budgeting, a good introduction. Secondly, I need an alignment with international standards. What is alignment with international standards? Because I'm in a hurry, I'm unable to pronounce. Yes, alignment with international standards is the discounted cash flows. What we have just viewed, the international capital budgeting practices, which are grounded in financial analysis methods aimed at ensuring that investment will generate positive returns. Okay, this is the means of calculation, discounted cash flows. You describe this. And in Mauritian context also you have to describe it, not copy-paste from Google, not copy-paste from manual. You have to describe it in Mauritian context. Even the introduction of capital budgeting, let me tell you how it is. In Mauritius, capital budgeting practices are influenced by both local conditions and international standards. Okay, this analysis will have to be examined how Mauritian practices align with global norms. You have your key challenges and the impact it had on recent projects. Okay, it is going to be on recordings. Okay, so better you note or how you are going to deal with it, how it proposes recommendation, how to enhance capital budgeting efficiency. You have to work on it. And here, about the alignment with international standards, we have to see the discounted cash flow, the definition, and in Mauritius firms, how generally we employ this discounting cash flow. You have to put in Mauritian terms, in context. Okay, the accuracy, how can it be affected by local economic fluctuations? Okay, you have to write a little on it. Okay, do some research. Okay, the net present value, this also you have to view the measures, how it measures the difference. This is the definition, but still in Mauritian context, you have to see the calculation. Okay, now the internal rate of return, we have not talked about this, we didn't get ample time, but this is the project on which you have to work. Okay, if you get an additional session, it's okay, but normally time is limited. In Mauritius companies, how IRR is used to compare potential investments, you have to work on it. Then you have the payback period. Please consider these points in your reply, okay? Consider these points, payback period. So we have 4 points we have analyzed: the alignment with international standards, the discounting cash flow, the net present value, the interest rate of return, the payback period. Okay, you worked on it. Okay, secondly, you have the challenges faced by Mauritian firms. Okay, Mauritian firms encounter several challenges. You have to work on it: the economic volatility, okay, the regulatory environment. Can you hear? Are you writing? Access to finance, data quality. No, access to finance, data quality, and availability. These are the challenges faced by Mauritian firms. Okay, you elaborate on it. Okay, economic volatility, regulatory environment, access to finance, data quality and availability. Okay, and you have the recent capital budgeting projects and their impacts. You should talk on it, the recent capital budgeting projects and their impacts. Okay, you have to talk on you can take example of Metro Express project. Okay, the cost benefit analysis and the risk assessment and its impact. Are you noting? Reply. Are you here? Yes, okay. No, but I can't see. I don't know if you have left because it's 12:30. Okay. Okay, recent capital budgeting project and the impact. So you have the Metro Express, as I said, project, the cost benefit analysis, the risk assessment, the impact. Okay. Second, you have the Mauritius renewable energy initiatives. Okay, you elaborate on Mauritius renewable energy initiatives. You elaborate on the initial high investment, the long-term benefits, okay, and the impact. You can talk on this. Okay, you have the tourism infrastructure developments, third. Okay, and you can talk on the market analysis, the financial forecasting and its impact. Now, the other part, you have the recommendations for improvement. You have enhanced data collection and analysis. You have second, you have the strengthened risk management. You have the improve access to financing. Okay. You have align with global standards. Okay. And this, you have the focus on strategic alignment. Then you have the conclusion. This is what I expect as reply in 1,500 words. This is your first assignment. Okay? This is your first assignment, and you have to work on this. Okay? Are you here? So you have to work on this assignment. I've already told you. Can you give me, what are you proposing? You will be with me 5 minutes more? Because you have the return on investment that was not explained. You have the discounted cash flow. But if you go through, yes, yes, you are having exam for this module. This is part of your manual. You have to go through this manual. This chapter is very important because this assignment, I'm counting it on 50 points. Okay, this will be considered for the final exam. Okay, all your assignment will be counted. So you have to work on it. This chapter is very important. If I have some points which have not been elaborated, I will try to take it on the next class or see what you're proposing. Okay, so see if Well, okay. So if you wish to have more elaboration in the next class, we'll go to it as suggested by some. They are going to request for request for additional class. See if it is possible. Okay, if it is possible, it is good. Okay, it is good that we can take it better. Okay, because it is a very long chapter. So I hope you have gone through the assignment requirements. I have given you some clue, and I want you to reply in this way. Okay, and it has to include Mauritian context in it. Okay, so try work on it. Okay, it's not worth going to the other parts. We'll take it in the next class. Okay, if you get additional class upon request, this is good. Otherwise, we'll discuss it in the next class. So you go through your manual and you try. It's easy. You will try to work my assignment. Okay. Thank you. Any question? Okay, I can't see any question. Good. So what what do you say we stop here? Okay. So yeah. So you work on this assignment. Have you received the assignment?
Yes.
The question, have you received? Good, very good. And about the recording, who was late? Who was expecting the recording?
Me, man.
Okay. 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 So you work on this assignment. You give me the assignment by latest next class on the 24th. It's for, I'm giving you 2 weeks to work on it. Okay. It should be very brief to the point and with 1,500 words. Okay. Consider what I proposed as suggested. Thank you. Thank you everyone for attending the class.
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, madam.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.